What's going on, everybody? I know here at the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, we usually like to keep it as positive as possible, but this one hits you in the heart. I've seen so many just pictures dealing with this particular death, I guess you could say. Reports yesterday. Well, it's kind of that weird part of the morning where we don't know if it's yesterday or today. But reports. I'm just gonna say yesterday of China passing away at her house. You know, people finding her at her house, only at 45 years of age, which is amazing. It didn't. I don't know. I don't even know really how to respond to it. I don't even know if it's hit me yet that it's like legit and that it's true. Um, because I don't know. There's been so much death around like me, I guess, recently that like a lot of it's just like eventually going to hit me, but hasn't yet. This is one that's kind of still in that mold. And we learned that Prince also died on yesterday too, so that was crazy. Just so much going on. I guess the main, obviously she's been a pioneer for the WWE women's division. She even paid some respects to Charlotte when she won the women's title. I thought that was very interesting. I've seen so many pictures, with her and especially her and Eddie Guerrero since they had their little storyline and talking about Mama Sita, it's time to go home or something like that. And it's just that I mean those really hit you a little bit more because you're like, man, that's just wild. But I don't know. It's definitely a sad day just in general, in wrestling, and you could say in music as well with Prince. I didn't put him in the title, but still, in the same regard, I still think it's important to mention him too. But I don't, man. It's just it's crazy. I think it begs the question: would WWE put her in the Hall of Fame? Will they mention her on the next show? Because they did mention her through social media and whatnot, but will they actually mention her through the show or anything like that? I'm kind of curious about that. But Casey, any thoughts on the news? I guess is not necessarily recent anymore.
It's I feel like it hasn't hit me yet either. You know, you and I always joke about how I'm older and blah blah blah, but China was kind of when I grew up, like when I really started, getting into wrestling around like 97, 98. So it kind of, I feel like it hits me a little bit in a different way, maybe than it would like you and Justin, who didn't show up because hockey apparently is more important than China. But it just it's sad, but then it brought up so many other like questions, like are they going to do some sort of tribute on Raw? Are they going to talk about it? Are they going to mention her? Um, is she going to make it into the Hall of Fame? What's is this going to change anything? And then it kind of sucks for WWE not to make WWE seem selfish. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon and he is selfish. But anytime anyone who has ever like it could be a dude who wrestled for WWE for 2 weeks in the 80s. If he died of an overdose, they would automatically wrestling did this. It's all the steroids, blah blah blah. And I'm afraid that that's we're gonna see a firestorm of people saying, "Oh, it's the steroids. She overdosed, blah blah blah, drug usage and wrestling, blah blah blah." That shit's gonna you know flame up again, and that's just not good for wrestling in general. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for the product. It's not good for the business. Um, that was one thing that kind of worried me, but it's sad that I didn't know. I mean, obviously they said it was an apparent overdose. I mean, I thought she was in good health. I thought, but I mean, it could have been, it was on 420, so she made may have started off with a little of the green stuff and then moved on to some other, you know, drugs of choice. What, I don't know. It's just, it's unfortunate, especially being that young, um, especially kind of, and it's sad, especially now because WWE just rebranded the Divas back to the women's division, and she was the pioneer of the women's division. So it's kind of, it's just, you don't really know what to say.
Yeah, and this is something WWE never does, even when someone does pass away. That's like really big in the company. I wish they would do this with the network. If someone was to pass away, I feel like they should um play some of their matches on the network because they never do. I've always noticed that they if they have like a documentary of them, they might play it, but they never play like matches or Raws that they happen to be in because they have all that stuff on the network, but they play the same thing over and over again. And I mean, as sad as it is, it does give them. I feel like this does give them something to play that's different from what they normally play all the time, over and over and over again. Um, but yeah, I think this is definitely some. I think because at first when I saw it, I was like, no, there's no way. Just because I saw something about. It was like I don't know if it was a joke or something or something weird where it was like Michael Jordan that passed away or something. I don't know if you saw that, but I had saw something about that like he had passed away in his home or something. I was like I know that's a lie because anyone who passes away who's of any significance as a celebrity usually is trending immediately, practically when it happens. And obviously, she was trending after this. Her Twitter page confirmed it and everything. But I know she's had the whole thing with the adult film industry, and that's why WWE has stayed away from her. But um, I don't know. I think this would be a good time to make amends. I know people always get mad at WWE for they want to make amends now because she's dead, and to a certain degree, I mean, that's kind of what you need to do. I get it that it is too late, but um, it is one of those things where like you don't I mean it's not like they knew this was gonna happen. Like it's not like they knew this was gonna happen. So I don't know. I hope they do something, some sort of tribute for her. So I know they don't do like full show tributes anymore because number one, 3 hour Raw. Number two, the whole Chris Benoit thing kind of ruined that for everyone. So they don't do like the whole tribute thing, but I'm hoping they do something, even if it's just a little, maybe a video or a little, if nothing else, the image. Because I don't know, it's just crazy. I thought she was older than 45, and then I heard she was only 45, and I was like, man, because shoot, I thought Prince was older than 57, but I don't know. I just don't really know what to think right now. And any additional thoughts on anything I've said or anything else you want to say?
I mean, kind of on the same page with both Chyna and Chris Benoit. I think they should still kind of, I know, you can never take away what happened with Chris Benoit. He killed his family, killed himself. I, I'm not talking about that. And we know Chyna did her adult films and whatever after she left the company. But I think we should WWE should still appreciate and kind of pay respect to what they did for the business, what they did in the ring, because at the end of the day, what professional wrestling is trying to do is make a story, something outside of reality. So I still think you could still appreciate what they did for the business. Not necessarily, obviously, Chris Benoit is not going to go in the Hall of Fame, but you could still, put some of his matches, on the network or something.
I mean, it's I think for WWE, it's always an image thing. They are such a big company that focuses on, the kids, everyone, but one of their main focuses
That
is
made Trish Stratus crawl on her knees and bark like
now. No,
hell.
I'm more so talking now. Trying to rebuild that image, which is hard. Because they've been doing this since 2007. So like I mean I get it from their perspective. It is an image that they have to kind of keep up. You know, now have they been perfect in the past? No. But you know, still, I think it's one of those. It's hard. I can't even make a decision on it because I'm like, I get it to a certain degree, you know, because they do have an image they have to slash want to uphold, um, and that's why. Because I mean, there was a point where they were promoting Playboy like it was Nickelodeon magazine on their freaking programming. So like, and they don't do that anymore, which I think Playboy doesn't have nudity anymore apparently, which is quite interesting. But you know, I just thought it was, you know, it's one of those things where it's an image thing for them. Um, I think it's hard on them because they're in that awkward position where you know they want to keep their image intact, I guess, or their rebuilt image because they had to rebuild a lot of their image at one point. I mean, I think we talk about this all the time when someone, especially when someone passes WWE's image, especially if they didn't have the greatest relationship with WWE. We seem to mention this,
I don't
but
know.
any
I think the whole like I still think they don't necessarily need the PG era. I mean, I don't know. It's all Linda McMahon's fault for that. You know, she tried to run for whatever she tried to run for. They tried to make it all family friendly. I don't know, but yeah, I, it's I don't know. It's I think it's something that fans are just not going to win in the end because there's still fans who appreciate what both of them did for the business and still want to see their matches. But unfortunately, unless you have, the DVDs of these pay-per-views or whatever, you're not going to be able to see China maybe. But I don't know. I think they should like put some sort of like tributes to wrestlers if they pass away on the network, like how they have the collections now. They should put like a Chyna collection, a Dusty Rhodes collection, Eddie Guerrero collection, something like that. I think that would be cool.
alrighty, I definitely agree. I think that would be cool, and it'd be a great way to use the network and freaking not play the same thing over and over again because Lord knows they do. But yeah, that's the sad video for a while. Hopefully, China passing away at 45, Prince passing away at 57. It's crazy. China, Roddy, Dusty, man, it's just getting slim. But for more, hopefully more, not more like this. I don't even know how to end this one. Hopefully not more like this because I can't end it the same way I usually do. But hopefully more, not more like this. But you know, breaking news, I guess you could say. I guess kind of what we could call this. But be sure to subscribe. We do a lot more than this. But any comments on China or Prince? You know, even Prince. You know, feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll see you guys later. Peace.